back to school, so you know what that means. Hello, hello, all those beautiful faces. How we doing? Stephanie checking in with another episode of Class Disruption. But before we get into it, I would like to ask you to make a small donation to Making History with Miss Edmonds. It's a nonprofit I started to support the work my students do in our classroom. It will go directly 100% of the funds to funding more hands-on learning experiences and excursions outside of the classroom. In addition, all the activities, the lesson plans will be available for free to other educators on the website that I'm working on right now. A more formal announcement is coming about all of that. But for now, you can donate, support the work that my students are doing by using the link in the description down below via PayPal. So again, none of your money is being siphoned off or anything, 100% directly to my classroom. So that link is in the description down below. Anything you can give, $1, $2, $10 will be so greatly appreciated. And of course, you can follow along with our adventures on Making History with Miss Edmonds on Instagram. But of course, that does not mean that you don't have to smash that like button. If you haven't, I need you to subscribe and hit that bell so you can get notified every time I drop a video. Let me know in those comments down below. What are you thinking? What are you doing for back to school? What are your must-have items this year? And of course, share this video. That is the most important thing you can do. But let's get into it. It's back to school, so you know what that means. Oh my God, I cannot walk through Target or Walmart without wanting to buy all the cute little things for all my kiddos and hashtag clear the list, clear my Amazon wish list and help out all my cute little kiddos. But this is more like my type of back to school shopping, and this year we're gonna need a lot of that. But back on a serious note, it's back to school. Whether you need some fresh pair of leggings, because you're gonna be teaching from your living room or maybe your bedroom, or you're on that hybrid deal, so you need to get some fresh outfits. And then with the virus, you can't share supplies, so you need more markers, you need more crayons, you need individual glue sticks and manipulatives. So it's Target and Walmart and hashtag clear that list from Amazon. But not for me, not this year. This year, where did I do my back to school shopping? My mom's house. Right? This lady has crayons and markers and paper for days. And then a tag sale. That's right, a tag sale. For $40, I gotta go count how much I got. I'll be right back. So for $40, I got 14 items. That is less than $4 an item. And we're talking about name brand stuff, nice button-up shirts, a vest, a jacket, a dress, like nice stuff. For $40. That would be like one nice shirt, not even one nice shirt, right? So stick around to the end and I will share all those items with you. But first, I need to go off because all I've been hearing for the past 2 months is social justice, racial justice, protests. And that's all good and fine and well. I'm for all those things. But you need to align your values with your actions. Right? For the past 2 months, you've been talking off all these things. And what's the first thing that you go to do? You go and give corporations who are responsible for not just maintaining this status quo, but for creating all of the inequalities that you profess to be against. They directly undermine the causes that you claim to champion. I'm not here to blame anyone or call out anyone individually. Me, myself, I'm trying to kick an Amazon habit. Over the next year, I'm going to be weaning myself off of it. Because over the past year or so, I've really become more conscious about where my dollar goes. The first thing for me was food and diet. I've switched over from just kind of buying what was on sale and what I liked to buying organic, locally farmed, grass-raised, humane-raised type of products. And then was the clothes. I want to make sure that I'm buying ethically sourced, so they're not being made by really cheap labor in bad conditions. I also want them to be environmentally friendly, so we're not just pumping chemicals, but we're really thinking about, okay, what is this made from? And how can we do this in a sustainable way? Every day, I'm just asking myself, okay, how can I spend my dollars more effectively? Like I said, I'm working on my Amazon habit. I'm trying to find alternatives, whether buying directly from the manufacturers themselves, by finding it from a local business, or just foregoing the item altogether. Because I mean, do you really Need that? See, money is speech. And while you only get to vote once a year, and that's not even for every position, some positions are once every 2 years, or president once every 4 years, I get to speak every single day with my dollar. And my dollar has power. And it's hard to understand because it's just $1 here, a few here, $40 there. But when you add those dollars up, what are you saying? So it's paramount. As teachers, we don't spend our money and the very corporations that undermine the work that we do. You see, corporations are rent seekers. Rent seeking is an economic concept that occurs when an entity seeks to gain added wealth without any reciprocal contribution of productivity. Typically, it revolves around government-funded social services and social service programs. As indicated by that second part, rent seeking is not a bug of capitalism or the free market system. It is a feature of the corporatocracy, the system that's held in place by the duopoly, the Republicans and the Democrats that control our government. And this is where I pause from the stated purposes video to urge you to check out Unity 2020 at articlesofunity.org. Unity 2020 is an alternative to the dismal choices that we've been given by the Republicans and the Democrats. Because this whole voting for the lesser of two evils, we can't do it anymore. It's not sustainable. Because when you vote for the lesser of two evils, guess what you're still voting for? Evil. And we need courageous patriots that are competent enough to get the job done, who are willing to come to the table and actually discuss ideas that can move the American people forward, and who are not in bed with the corporations that are just here to rent seek and take from the American people. So please go check them out, pledge your support. Link is in the description down below. The only way this works is if we have a groundswell of support. So go put in your email address and find out more today. So back to talking about why corporations are bad and you should not spend your money there. They are rent seekers. They seek to gain wealth without adding anything. And in fact, I would say that they work directly against social justice because everything that they do increases inequality of all kinds. Yes, even if they slap Black Lives Matter on their homepage or run an ad about how we can overcome all of this together.
We're never alone. And that is our strength.
Yes, Nike, we are coming for you. But before we get into Nike and some of these other corporations, I just wanted to break down this concept of rent seeking a little bit further. So let's take a look at this article from Nonprofit Quarterly called Reimagining the Economy, the Social Justice Enterprise. And I just wanted to read this small excerpt right here. It starts in the middle of this paragraph. The most successful capitalist firms understand that competition within markets alone is a failing strategy. Politics and culture determine the winners of the economy, and the winners of the economy dictate politics and culture. Corporate allocations for lobbying, political action committees, and advertising are examples of this logic at work. The outcome of this system is rigged competition in which social enterprises are up against Walmart, Amazon, and other monopolies of the modern era. Here, economies of scales are fortified by subsidies and tax breaks, trade policies and supply chain interventions, regulatory and contractual favoritism, and a myriad of other proverbial fingers on the scale. So you see, the economy we have in this country is not capitalism, it's not the free market. At best, it's crony capitalism, but I would call it a corporatocracy, because these corporations cannot come to dominate without the blessing of our government that's controlled by the duopoly. So in the same way, all this corporate social justice slapping Black Lives Matter on their products and home pages and banners across the top, it's just good business. They don't care. They don't actually back up those things if you're looking at their business practices. And so when we go out and we're saying, oh, social justice, Black Lives Matter, and then we go out and we shop at these places, what are we really saying? Do those actions matter? In the one hand, if you're doing actions on the other hand that directly contradict them. In fact, back in 2018, Atlantic, the title of an article they put out really captures this idea. Colin Kaepernick, Nike, and the myth of good and bad companies. The brand's alignment with the embattled NFL star is nothing more than smart business. Okay, Nike, Let's talk about that business.
From ethicalconsumer.org, Nike is the world's largest supplier and manufacturer of athletic shoes, apparel, and sports equipment. The company claims to be dedicated to promoting safety, health, and well-being of people and the environment. But how much do its practices live up to its alleged principles? Let's find out. We looked at several ethical issues, including human rights, workers' rights, supply chain management, pollution and toxin habitats and resources, environmental reporting, use of controversial technologies, political activities, anti-social finance, and human rights. Our research highlights allegations of forced labor in the Nike chain supply, gender discrimination towards female athletes and parents, and failure to ensure all employees receive a living wage. What's more, the company is spending high amounts of money on political lobbying each year. That's not to mention the extraordinary wage packets received by company executives. And then here's some details from below, and this is all just recently updated. You can see they have something February 2020. Washington Post reported that a large Nike supplier factory, Qingdao Taekwang Shoes Co., has been employing Uyghurs from Zhejiang region of China. So the Uyghurs are the large population of Muslims that has been put into camps under the guise of terrorism. This region they're Muslim. This region was getting an increase in terrorist attacks, and so the Chinese government has taken 1 million, the estimates say 1 million, maybe more, maybe less, Uyghurs into these like forced camps for re-education, and they also do forced labor. So not too social justice-y there, huh? And then they go on into the environment and basically say, they claim to be this environmentally friendly company, but obviously they're not. Every once in a while they'll use things like organic cotton, but nobody knows how much or how many of their products are actually getting it. It's just a nice thing to be able to tout when you don't look at the actual numbers below it. And then, of course, it talks about how much Nike gives for political activities and how much they pay their top executives. Their top executive is paid $13 million. Many others are paid over $1 million in total compensation. And how much do those people who work in the factories get paid? And how much are they getting paid versus how much are you paying for this item? Like, the markups are crazy. So just some fun facts about Nike.
So Nike, like many other big corporations, found it's cheaper to invest millions of dollars in the salaries of their executives, millions of dollars in ad campaigns and sponsorships of athletes so that they can inspire us with things like this.
Because nothing can stop what we can do together.
But what I need you to realize about this information is it is 100% performative BS. And we are eating it right up, which is exactly what President of the Ford Foundation, Darren Walker, said in a recent New York Times article.
Corporate America has failed Black America. And so we're just going to scroll down to this one section where it outlines a lot of these examples of this performance put on by corporations, right? He says, corporate America can no longer get away with token responses to systematic problems. And that's exactly what I see a lot of this movement happening. It's just like, we need change with blackface on it. It doesn't actually have substance to it. And here's some examples of this performance. So Amazon called out for an end to inequitable treatment of Black people. Yet, the company has faced sustained criticism for poor working conditions and low pay. And then what did they do to a Black man in March, right? When Christian Smalls stood up to them in Staten Island for the conditions during the pandemic, the general counsel disparaged him as not smart or articulate, right? And he was fired. Then, more on the NFL. The commissioner of the National Football League, Roger Goodell, issued a statement saying the protests expressed the pain, anger, and frustration that so many feel. But his organization has banned players, most of whom are Black, from kneeling to protest police brutality. And the quarterback most identified with the gesture, Colin Kaepernick, has been effectively blacklisted. right? On Friday, he appeared to reverse himself, saying, "We in the NFL admit we are wrong," right? And there's definitely, it seems like there's more action being taken by a lot of these sports leagues now to address these issues. But again, is it actually substantive, or is it more of just this slap Black Lives Matter on it, do a ceremony? And it goes through other examples in here of how a lot of this just seems to be a performance.
The thing is about most of these campaigns is they're not directed at Black people. They're made by a marketing team directed at white people, so white people can feel good about themselves like they're fighting for social justice. But when we give them our money, we are doing the exact opposite, and we have to stop. So what do? We shop local. We go to secondhand stores. We go to tag sales. We perhaps forego the item altogether. I mean, do you really need that? Do your kids really need that? Is there a DIY option? Is there an alternative option that is, maybe it's not fancy and shiny, but, like the analog version that still gets it done, and maybe even you have to get more down and dirty to do it, and it brings even more of a learning experience? I truly believe that it's about shopping local, supporting local businesses, and about entrepreneurship. That's why I've been pushing entrepreneurship education throughout this whole last year, and I'm moving my classroom more and more to this creation and creativity style. And not only does entrepreneurship give people individual freedom, it gives communities a path towards liberation to keep those dollars in their communities circulating around and supporting each other. I want to break down a number of those aspects that make small businesses and entrepreneurs way more deserving of your money than a corporation ever could be. Number one, they work for themselves, and they can decide what their business values are and how they enact those values through their business. They don't have powerful forces from above coming down and constraining them. They decide what their values are, they enact those values, and the customers can directly hold them accountable to those values. Number two, they are innovators. They come up with new ways for us to interact with each other and do business, and that is key to chip away at the status quo. And finally, entrepreneurs have enormous social power. While entrepreneurs make up only about 13% of the workforce, they account for over half of all the jobs, and they are the number one generator of new jobs in this country. A recent article put out by Forbes sums up the role of entrepreneurs very nicely. It says, they set the most basic standards of how we work together and behave towards one another. They can change those rules instantly without having to fight a corporate bureaucracy. Theoretically, CEOs of big companies could do the same, but in reality, they're constrained by shareholders, and they can see their good intentions undermined by people in far-flung operations. So while traditionally we think of the CEOs of large corporations of having tremendous power, that power is constrained and pushed by so many forces outside of what might be their individual desire to make this world a better place. Whereas entrepreneurs and business owners who are in the community, we're with them face to face. I really like what I found a blog online, and this is what they said about these small businesses who serve their communities. Face to face with real people who are trying to change the world and launch a dream, the notion of business as monolithic greed machines collapses in the face of this human reality. These are your neighbors, your cousins, college kids, retirees, immigrants working tirelessly to build a business and maybe become something much bigger. This really is about saving that American dream. The ability for anybody to come here from anywhere in the world with nothing in their pocket and build something and give back. And we as teachers have an enormous spending power. I'm not exactly sure. I think that we are like the number one job across the world. I mean, any town USA has to have a school and teachers. Our spending power is enormous, and we need to use it to make sure that we're enacting the values that we get on Twitter and on Instagram and profess to have. If you believe in social justice, then you must believe in spending your money locally, in boycotting Target, in boycotting Amazon, and boycotting all these other big corporations that want to go around talking about Black Lives Matter, but are not doing anything in any real tangible way to improve Black lives. So with that, I want to show you all the amazing items that I got for just $40 at a tag sale last weekend. So come check them out with me. So welcome to my couch. I should do Stephanie's big comfy couch. Move the set in here. No, but this right here are all the things that I got. And right away you can see Banana Republic, very nice shirt, high quality. Doesn't appear to be anything at all wrong with it. In fact, it looks pretty darn new. Got some sports shorts. These are Under Armour. Somebody who went to Dartmouth. Fancy. All right, another button-up shirt. This one is Louis Farad. Sounds fancy, but it feels really nice. This material feels good, and again, it really does not look like this has been worn. Got a jacket. This is Kirkland. So, I mean, this stuff isn't like crazy expensive at Kirkland, but again, it doesn't really look like it's been worn too much. Got this for a few bucks. Another button up. This one's a dress. This is cute. This was one of the more expensive items. A vest, J. Crew. I'm telling you, this is good stuff. Another button-up flannel. No, I love my flannels. Another J. Crew. I mean, J. Crew, this probably cost $40, $50, $60 when it was first bought. Bring another life to it. Another shirt. I love the way this one feels, so soft. This one is Banana Republic. Nothing wrong with it. Great shirt. Got some pants. Love this color. These are from Nautica. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's from Mario Serrani, Italy. I'm just gonna become fashionista. Hashtag teacher style. What else we got? All right, a couple more like athletic items. You know I love my Merca. Got me some Merca spandex. These will come in handy when we do those fun dress-up days at our school. Culture Day, rep your flag. Workout, bright pink, can't miss me. Got a bright green one. And then finish it off with a hoodie. Hoodie action, love my hoodies. So all these items right here, $40. And so all these items right here, $40. So all these items right here, $40. That's 40. And not only did I get an amazing deal, not only did I not have to go give my money to a corporation, but I'm also doing something that's good for the planet, right? Reducing carbon footprint and keeping that money in my community to somebody who lives down the street from me. And again, this isn't to shame anybody or call anybody out. And there's still going to be things that you might have to go to a Target or an Amazon or a Walmart to get. It's about thinking twice about where are we putting that dollar and how can I use that dollar to most effectively enact my values. And again, us as teachers, if we come together and we spend our money in certain ways, we have a huge impact on this economy. So let me know in those comments down below, what are you doing for your back to school shopping? What are your must-have items? How are you saving money? How are you avoiding buying from corporations? What are some small businesses that we should support? And I need you to like this video, smash that like button, smash. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell so you get notified every time I drop a video. And share this video. That is the most important thing you could do so we can spread this disruption all around the globe. So I'm laying here editing this and I forgot to remind you, please donate to Making History with Miss Edmonds, my nonprofit organization to help support the work I do in my classroom with my students. Link is in the description down below via PayPal. All your donations are greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. And until next time, y'all know what I need you to do. Stay foolish.